Good morning. It's Friday. It's the Lights Camera Cleveland edition of Tennessee Valley this morning. Rob picks a topic. Ready? Go.
Cleveland, Tennessee has been named the city with spirit. True or false?
I think it's false. They're not allowed to sell tequila here. How can they say it's the city with spirits if there's no real spirits you can purchase?
It is not the city of spirits. It's the city with spirit. Now, as you know, Mayor Tom Rowland realized we had a problem here in Cleveland. We know it. You know it. The problem is we were a city without a name. We were just Cleveland, Tennessee, home of Cleveland, Tennessee. That could not stand. And so Mayor Rowland, in his wisdom, in his benevolence, devised a plan, Hollywood Slinky.
Did he?
He had a contest with everybody in this town to see who could name the city the best. And then he put together a committee full of all the people you normally hear on Steve Hartline's show, and he said, all of these people are going to choose the best one. In the end, the committee was split 3-2. This is a nail-biter of a name. In the end, this is a close one. So Hollywood Slinky, tell me for real, city with spirit, ready, go.
Not a fan.
No?
I'm not a fan. I think it says so many things and yet doesn't say anything. I feel like it is the beginning of a great idea, and they are just not there yet.
Now, I hate to go with the Matt Ryerson approach where everything seems like it's wonderful, but I think it's pretty good. I don't have to actually pretend. I think that city with spirit is actually pretty good. When I think about Cleveland, I think about, we're like, hey, guy, you can do it. When you look at everything that happened in the tornadoes, people getting out, helping their neighbors. I mean, there's a lot of spirit here. I think
the Craig Miles haunted mausoleum.
Correct. We have the Craig Miles spirit. We have the spirit fighting the tornadoes. Like Matt Ryerson talked about a month ago that we won't let go, is like we have the spirit of those who came before us.
We have godly spirit.
We have a lot.
The buckle of the belt.
That is correct. There is a lot of spirit. Am I winning you over?
No, you're not.
Well, there you have it. On today's edition of Tennessee Valley this morning, we've got some big news. We have got two guests, not one but two, Miss Rochelle Mayberry from the Lee University Leonard Center, and Dr. Phil Gothrop from the Gothrop Wellness Hamilton Roddy Center for All Things Healthy in Chattanooga is here to talk about four-wheeling and fishing and weight lossing. And State Representative Eric Watson is going to be with us later.
You know, I actually entered that contest for the come up with the slogan for Cleveland.
What was your name?
Cleveland, home of Rob and the Slinky.
We'll be back after this.
I was a loser.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But it was...
Welcome back to the Friday Lights Camera Cleveland
and we're back!
I didn't notice. I was this morning.
Paying attention to everything
I am Hollywood Slinky. This is Rob Alderman, and we are here to talk about some of our big news.
We do have big news. Here's where we get the big news. From your one and only local Cleveland Daily Banner.
Wow.
It comes to my house around 3 o'clock in the afternoon every day. I pick it up out of my yard and I say, what does everybody want to know about?
And I think that is the question.
I look.
Tell me.
Well,
what does everyone want to know about?
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that everybody wants to know is that according to the Cleveland Daily Banner today, there's been a very strong turnout in early voting for the commission races out in the county.
Oh, my.
So, as they're, typically, everybody says they're going to vote.
Right.
People say, yes, I'll vote. I'm coming out to vote. Let's all go vote.
I've voted in every election since I was 18.
Tell you, I
have never registered.
I'm guilty of being the guy that says I'm going to vote and says to people like, you can't complain if you don't vote.
Sure.
And stuff like that. And I believe that in this country, one of the things that we're most blessed with is the ability to vote. You have so many places.
And the right to complain whether you vote or not.
That is true. We do give you that right, except for then people like me say, hey, if you didn't vote, You see what I get
Sure.
kind of, yeah. So anyway, but I've kind of been one of those guys that says I'm going to vote and doesn't always vote. But apparently, according to the Cleveland Daily Banner, people are coming out in droves to vote for this commission race.
Man, that is exciting.
And so, yeah, it is. I mean, when you think about local news.
At what point does it stop being like lots and become droves?
No, it's droves.
I mean, when does that change?
Well, I think lots is like when you go out with like your buddies.
Sure.
And you're like, hey, let's go out, and like 5 of you get together. And you head out to a restaurant. It's kind of more than the waitress can handle. That's lots. Okay. But when you show up, and it's already busy.
Full on.
And you have like every friend. You've texted, you've put it on Foursquare, and now you show up, and you're like 20, 30 people strong in a restaurant, and the waitress begins to silently weep in the corner. That's droves.
That's a drove. Okay.
And so these are droves of people coming out to the polls for what may be the most important election of our time.
The fourth commissioner seat district thing.
Yeah, anyway, here's the thing.
Of our time.
Here's the thing is that we have other news.
We do have other
local news, and this one involves our local celebrity.
Oh.
Yes, that's right. You like it when I say that. And
I know,
I'm talking about none other than State Representative Eric Watson.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
I normally do.
And all of the setup was all indicative.
Here's the deal. I need to tell you about this. This
like
one
to
is
know.
kind of interesting. I saw this reported on 4 news outlets.
Really?
That's like droves.
That is droves of news outlets.
Droves of news outlets. Apparently, Slinky, State Representative, I almost called him Senator Watson.
Wow.
That's pretty intense.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I don't know. Maybe that's a prophecy.
Maybe. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Senator Eric Watson. Let it hang there.
Just sit there and...
Anyway, no, State Representative Eric Watson has been attacked recently in the media. That's right. No,
the
it's
heck
true.
you say?
No, I do say.
Oh.
Apparently, he made some comments after an incident on the hall steps.
No.
Yes, indeed, in Nashville. As you know, they spend part of their time here. They spend part of their time in Nashville trying to be servants of the people, passing laws, introducing legislation, right? So here's what happened. Apparently, there are occupiers. Now, I've seen them. I've been there. I went for a visit to Nashville, and I'm not here to say whether they should or shouldn't be there. We're journalists. We are not afforded the right to make a decision.
We are completely impartial.
You spilled that all over.
I did.
You didn't even aim for your mouth.
I don't need to.
Okay, anyway, here's the thing. There are occupiers all over in front of the building where Watson is and where a lot of people work. And there are tons of people in there, and they just want to go in and do their job. They understand that people are upset in this country, and I think we all understand. We're all living in a recession. Nobody's living in it on their own.
Sure.
And everybody's trying to figure this out. But so the occupiers have taken upon themselves to occupy the front steps. Apparently, there was some fluid that may have been uric in nature. And somebody slipped on this fluid and hurt themselves. Someone else said actually they were under a tree and some fluid landed on them. Listen, this is the news, folks. This is the news, and we take this really seriously.
That's true.
Apparently that this is what people said, okay? And State Rep Watson said, look, I don't think that's very nice. I don't think that these people should be peeing on other people.
I think that's reasonable.
I think that's reasonable. I think it's a reasonable response when one of your friends gets peed on. I think it is a reasonable response to say, let's not.
Right.
Let's not do that.
If that is something that you would like to do in the privacy of your own home, then I think that that's fair. But to do that...
In some states, it's not. In some states, I think they would
say,
on
the steps of the Capitol,
okay.
On the steps of the Capitol building, I think maybe you have 2 options. Hold it or get a room.
That's right. One of those 2 things. Well, whoever did this didn't do that. Watson, he's a defender.
A defender of justice.
He is a defender of justice, and he said, this will not stand. If you're going to do this to people, pick up your Occupy and go somewhere else. Go occupy somewhere else, right?
The bathroom.
So
let's
their
occupy
response
the
now,
potty.
let's occupy the bathroom. Now, here's the deal.
Occupy.
Okay? They have now responded in the media asking him for a public apology because they say there is no proof it is theirs. There is some someone else. Someone else is trying to make them look bad.
Someone else occupied it on the stairs.
It was not them. It is clearly a conspiracy, Slinky.
Well, one of the things that makes me very thankful is that being well connected as we are, we are able right now to go live to the stairs of the of the state capitol. So right now, let's go live to roving field reporter, state representative, possibly future senator, Eric Watson. Eric, are you with us?
Eric, are you there? Eric, how do things look out there on the courthouse steps?
There is urine everywhere.
That sounds horrible. How are you holding up? Are things okay?
Yeah, things are okay.
Well, tell me this. I mean, are you angry about that situation?
I can't comment on that.
Are you ready to blame people for what they've done?
I can't comment on that.
I just wanted to sit here and
This segment is always awkward.
I love my favorite is the awkward moments of silence.
I always hate it when that puppet stares at me. Well, Senator Watson or State Representative Watson, do you have any means of being able to tell where the urine is coming from?
No.
Do you have any plans to figure out where the urine is coming from?
Well, I would like to, yeah, but I can't comment on that.
Well, we thank you. We appreciate your honesty.
Thank you.
We hope that you're able to get things cleaned up.
Ladies and gentlemen, State Representative Eric Watson, we have a great show coming up for you. Michelle Mayberry is here. Dr. Gotham is here. I don't know, that puppet may show up again. Later on, we have a preview review.
It's true. And, and I think it's important before we go that there is a bit of news that we do need to share.
Golly, when that puppet stares at me.
Whitney Houston is dead.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I forgot
important.
We had a lot more
And I
news.
think we should have a moment of silence for Whitney Houston. All right. What?
That is awful. Your moment wasn't long enough.
It wasn't?
The horn is appropriate as sort of like a celebration of life, but...
I gave it like...
Nope.
There was like 0.4 of an eighth of a second.
Stop.
We'll be right back on Tennessee Valley this morning.
Just stop.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
And we're back. You're watching Tennessee Valley this morning. The Lights Camera Cleveland edition. I'm Rob Alderman. With me as always, the Hollywood Slinky, and we have a fantastic guest with us next. This is young Miss Rochelle Mayberry from the Leonard Center. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Rochelle. Here's the deal with you coming on the show. Actually, I'm not going to lie to the people.
I'm not going to lie much.
Right, here's the thing. We were supposed to originally have Commissioner Adam Lowe on this show. And Commissioner Lowe was supposed to talk about the importance of the early voting, because you heard our big news.
I did.
And people are coming out in droves, and they want to know why they're voting. They want to know what a commissioner is.
Yeah.
Right? They look around and they say,
Adam
we want to
know.
know. Right. Well, we're hoping. We don't know that he knows, but we thought we would at least investigate.
Try.
Right. And so when Adam called and said he had to be in Knoxville today, I said, what am I going to do? Aha, eureka, I know. I'll call Jake Stum with People for Care and Learning, and I will ask Jake Stum if he can be on the show to talk about his trip to Cambodia.
Right.
And so I did, and I said, Jake, can you please be on our show? He said, no, I'm busy. At which time I looked across the table and you were there. And we said, now wait a minute. What about Rochelle? She is more well-spoken than Jake and more knowledgeable on the county commission than Adam. And so I called Ryan really quickly through the wonders of cellular technology, and I said, what about Rochelle Mayberry? Because I can't do anything unless I clear it with...
To which I responded, why would you call me at 5 a.m. on a Friday morning? It's early.
I said, look, the show is important.
The show must go on.
Must.
And now here you are, but we are thrilled to talk about the...
And I'm excited because it leads us into, of course, the very first question that we've been dying to ask you. And I'm sure everyone at home is thinking the same thing.
I'm sure.
Which is, how does it feel, how do you feel emotionally knowing that you were third choice?
Yeah, a completely valid question. And actually, I don't know how I feel because I didn't know about it till just now. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Well, we're going to
give you some time to let that.
We'll
circle
let me
around.
stew
on
that.
Back to that.
We'll circle around.
Let me stew a little
and we'll
bit.
see how you feel. You may feel great.
I might.
You may sit there and say, you know what? Out of all the people, 3 is not bad.
I mean, yeah, there's way more people than that.
In my life,
others that we could have asked.
That's right.
That's true.
In my life, I will tell you this. I have often, especially when I was in college. Now, you didn't know me in college, but the Slinky did, and I did a fair amount of dating the young ladies. And I was often told I was their 5th or 6th choice.
Yeah.
I never let it get me down. I never let it bother me.
Kept trekking.
Listen, April, my goodly wife, said to me, well, you're like my 7th choice, but sure. And I'm happily married. So you may think that 3rd is fine.
So what you're saying is we might have a great marriage ahead of us?
Not ahead of us. Not ahead of us so much.
She almost just out-awkwarded us.
Yeah, where's that puppet? Where's the puppet when we need it? Rochelle, we are happy to talk about the Leonard Center, so why don't you give us a brief rundown of what the Leonard Center is?
Well, if I knew, I would tell you, but...
We'll be right back.
This is about to get horrible.
No, I mean, we try to serve people. So
Now,
that's what we do.
Lunch, dinner, what is it that you serve them?
It isn't.
Whatever they need.
Now, it is an actual building.
It is. There is a building.
Okay. And I've been by that building, and there are people scurrying everywhere. What would you say if somebody, in all seriousness, if somebody were to come to you and say, tell me about the Leonard Center, I know that the first thing I hear about is that it's service-based learning.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what that means? What does that mean to you? How do you see that play out? I know that you're really instrumental in all of the initiatives that go on over there. Everywhere I see William Lamb, and he oversees the Leonard Center. Mm-hmm. When I see William Lamb, I typically see you, and there are a couple others that I always see. So I know that you're in the middle of the machine. So tell us about service-based learning and why it's important.
Yeah. Well, we really believe in active learning. You learn a lot of theory in the classroom and a lot of things that are conceptual, abstract thoughts. And so we really think that service is a great way to put that into action, to take what you're learning and apply it in real life, and not only to apply it, but to apply it in a way that is going to be helpful to other people around you.
Now, is the Leonard Center... Is that free to the community? If anyone, when folks need help, do they just show up? Do they need to call and make an appointment?
Well,
Or do you find them?
Yeah, well, we really try to focus on working with organizations. So we've got a ton of nonprofits that are doing a ton of good in this community.
Are you instrumental in the Deke Day?
I help with it. Yeah,
It's an
all-staff effort.
Is that an outpouring of the Leonard Center?
It definitely is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because Deke Day is the first time when I was at Lee University, we didn't have service-based learning or anything like that. The Leonard Center did not exist. Of course, when I was there, half the buildings on campus did not yet exist. So
that's how old you are?
Can you?
It wasn't that long ago. I hate to break it to you.
It's sad but true. So tell us, though, can you tell us a little bit about Deke Day and how you guys go out? I learned about it through the nursing homes. Is it always, is every Deke Day nursing homes?
It is,
or is
for
it
our freshman students. Yeah, we love Deke Day because when our freshman students get on campus, we want them to know that service is a huge part of what we do. And so because of that, the very first Sunday that they're there, we send all of the freshman class to nursing homes around the county and all over. And so, and our transfer students generally serve with elementary schools because they're a little special. But so they go and they spend about 5 hours on that Sunday, and that's kind of their introduction to service learning.
That's fantastic. I know that I've often heard William, when he's talking about it, talk about how it just really changes students' lives. When you came to Lee, was service-based learning, was that part of your experience as a freshman?
It definitely was.
What was your very first experience?
Well, at Lee, it was Deke Day. That's what any student, since we've started that program, that's their first introduction. But I was lucky that I had a family who believed in service. So coming to a school that holds that in such high regard was a blessing for me, for sure.
What does Deke Day mean?
Yeah.
Why would they call it that?
I
ask the hard-hitting questions. You're like, tell us about caring for people. And I'm like, what's it called that?
Yeah.
You're right. I'm like, tell us about caring for people. You're like, Whitney Houston's dead, air horn. You're right. You're a serious journalist.
I am getting
you are a serious
piece
journalist.
Of the matter.
Yeah. Well, Deke, I wasn't around when this was made, but Deke comes from the word diakoneo. And it's a Greek word meaning to serve. So
it's where we get the word deacon.
Yeah.
In a church.
It
How you like me
so
now?
You're just showing off.
How you like me now, Slinky?
I know what this word means.
You wouldn't know what a deacon was.
No.
Tell us about some of the organizations that you work with. You said nonprofits, but could you be more specific?
Oh my goodness, we work with.
Wait, how about this?
Tell
us about all the nonprofits you work with, other than the United Way.
In less than 5 minutes.
What we're going to need you to do is go ahead and just pick the one that you think is the best or your favorite.
Yeah,
and then single them out in a way that makes the others
feel awful.
If you could please do that. And what I hope is that you make either Matt Carlson upset or Matt Ryerson.
Is that possible?
Or Alan Mincy, or that really sweet guy that's the barista at the coffee shop at Inman Street Cafe. I never know his name, but here's what I'm going to say. Dude,
Isaac.
You make such a good cup of coffee.
Snap. She just out Inman.
His name's Isaac? Are you sure? He's like the runner guy, the main guy?
Oh, Joel?
Joel, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought
Joel,
you meant...
she didn't know it either.
No, I do.
Well, yeah, you know his name. Anyway, yeah, Joel. I either want Joel Uncomfortable or Matt Carlson, Matt Ryerson, or maybe
I don't know if that's possible.
Johnny Barista from Starbucks.
I think that's too large of a
Could we
task.
make him, you know who I'm talking about?
I
when
know
I'm talking
exactly.
about Johnny Barista?
Yes.
Yeah, that kid from Starbucks.
He's awesome.
I went in there one day and he was dancing with his new wife
I don't
in
even
Starbucks.
know what we're
and
talking about.
You know the guy at Starbucks that always wears shorts?
Right.
Okay, there's another guy there who's like a hippie and he's like Coffee Johnny. We call him Johnny Barista. And Johnny Barista could probably use some service-based learning.
Awesome.
I know. I see him sitting there reading his Bible, and I'm like, what are you reading? And he's like, I don't really know if I can talk about it. It's blowing my mind. Anyway, do you ever do service-based learning with him?
Actually have.
Yeah, what was that like?
Yeah, it was great.
Did he stop service-based learning and start dancing with his wife in the middle of a coffee shop?
No.
Anyway, he always makes the kid in the shorts so angry. Because the kid in the shorts is like sweeping and mopping and making coffee. And Johnny Barista is like, I don't know. Like,
See, I don't go to Starbucks. I go where my money goes somewhere.
Whoa, anti-corn.
I actually don't drink coffee. That's the thing. Yeah, I know.
Goodness.
When I say that, everyone's like, how did you survive 4 years of college? And I'm like, well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm not here.
Movie questions.
Well, I had actually a legitimate question.
Okay, I'm ready. Yeah.
What
know it's possible.
It is possible,
All right.
but it's just this one time. Are you
Okay,
ready?
I'm ready.
What is it that you do specifically for the organization?
That's a great question too.
It is.
If I
We're
knew,
out of
I
time.
would.
We're not going to be able to.
Again. No, I mean I work.
Clearly important.
Right. I work with.
And humble.
I try. I work with faculty a lot, which is awesome because we have great faculty at Lee doing service learning in their classes. One of my favorite things that I do is I work with the student leaders of the service clubs on campus.
Is there a way for people to get involved?
Yeah, they just need to come talk to me.
Now,
All right, well,
I have
do
a
you
question.
Okay.
I have another question
All right.
before we get to the final
She was just
tagline.
totally getting down on me. Did you see that?
The final.
She was like, yes, people can get involved.
Yeah, I guess you can help.
Jeez, all you have to do is go to Chick-fil-A during
got-
the morning time, and William Lamb will be there.
We've
He'll
got,
hook you up.
we've
Is that
got so
where he
much
is?
help already
That's where
because
he
we're
is.
doing awesome.
We wonder.
Here's the deal. You or Jill Singerman the boss? Which one?
Well,
Are
technically.
you Jill Singerman's boss?
Bruce
No,
Springsteen,
no.
the boss.
Jill, on paper, Jill is my supervisor.
On paper, you caught that.
Not in
you heard
reality.
it here first.
I say that because she's one of my best friends,
All right,
and
so in reality, if people want to get involved, how can they do
How
that?
do they get involved?
well, I mean,
Is there a website they can go to?
yeah, they can go to Lee's website, but if they want to get involved, if they're community people who want to get involved, then really they should be talking to Emily McComb, who does the Community Action Network.
And how can they get in touch with her?
Well, that's a great question. Can Brad Cleve, it's awful, tn@gmail.com.
You hear that? She said it's awful.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
that's the email.
We are hard-hitting journalists today.
CANBRADCLEVTN@gmail.
All right, you ready for fourth questions from the Slinky?
I'm always.
All right, we believe that everything you need to know about a person you can learn by asking these 4 movie questions.
Oh, I'm scared.
Do you like movies? That is not one of the 4 questions.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. What do you believe is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, I'm not good with favorites.
Or
Do I fail?
questions, apparently. She's not good with questions either. So you have no favorite movie?
No. Golly.
Your favorite.
I don't have
This is one of those
favorites.
kind of times when you're forced to choose.
I hate choices.
Listen, if you look at, I've got 2 sons, Rochelle, Rusty and Riley,
And
Right.
they're
and people are
favorites,
like,
trust
you
me.
can't choose between the 2. I'm like, yeah, I do, Rusty. What's your
How
favorite
does that make
movie?
Riley feel? Okay, Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, Beauty and the
All
Beast.
right, what movie do you think is the best movie ever made?
What's the difference?
Oh, there's a huge difference. One is about quality, the other is about what you like.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Come on, you have to answer. There is urine all over the courthouse stairs.
Injustice. Guys, I don't.
I never thought we'd end up taking 5 minutes.
I
I'm
know, I
really
know.
bad.
All right, well, we'll skip it then,
All right, skip
because
it.
that tells us something about you too,
Right.
but it's not good.
I'm not a movie critic.
All
I
right,
just
the
go
next
watch.
thing. What movie have you seen more than any other film?
Probably Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
All right, and then the last one is, what movie do you think is the funniest movie ever made?
Oh. I don't love comedies.
That's, whenever we have anybody from
Do I
Lee here,
fail?
they're always afraid to say.
They're like, I don't want to say.
I don't want to say it.
No, I don't really watch a lot of comedies.
So, old school.
Yeah.
Porky's.
What?
No, I'm just trying to help
He's
you. I'm
trying
just
to
throwing
throw
out
out
stuff that maybe you
movies
might
that would
like.
get you in
I've
trouble.
never heard of those movies.
The Hangover.
No.
Anchorman.
No, actually, I haven't watched that either.
Wow.
I was homeschooled.
Suddenly, if you had told us that up front, we wouldn't
Why
even
did you just say you were homeschooled?
Wow.
I went to high
you
school, but
just say
it was
you
a
were
Christian private high school,
homeschooled?
so yeah, exactly.
Beauty and the Beast is the answer to all 4.
All 4.
It's the only one you've ever seen.
Exactly.
How silly
The
of
world
me.
makes sense.
Look at you saying those words to a homeschool child.
There's mud all over my face.
Listen,
We don't
that's
know where
it
the
for
mud came
Rochelle
from.
Mayberry. We're going to go to commercial. In a minute, we're going to be right back with Dr. Phil Gothrop from the Hamilton Roddy Gothrop Center for All Things Healthy. You're watching. It's like canbradcleve10.gmail.com.
Tennessee Valley this morning.
We'll be right back. Homeschool, of course you are.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gupta, and I'd like to introduce you to a valuable new healthcare solution here in Cleveland. Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open and accepting patients. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even sports injuries and sprains. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level in the body. This increased oxygen level in our tissues and organs boosts the body's natural healing abilities and allows our bodies to function at a higher level. We will be happy to work in cooperation with your regular physician. However, a referral is not required for this treatment. So whether you're dealing with a weekend injury, a chronic medical condition, or looking for anti-aging solutions, you owe it to yourself to explore what hyperbaric oxygen treatment can do for you or your loved ones. I invite you to contact us today for some more information.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Yeah. Well,
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Joining us now from the Hamilton Roddy Chiropractic Institute for All Things Amazing and Healthy is Dr. Philip Gothrop.
Woo! Welcome to the show, Dr. Phil. You're our Dr. Phil. Now, out there in the world, let me tell you this. Out there in the world, there is a Dr. Phil. He's been on Oprah. I think he may even have his own show called The Dr. Phil Show.
But he is an imposter.
he's never been here.
He's never been here.
Which proves he's not really, really big yet.
Our first question, Dr. Phil, are you homeschooled? Because we just want to get that out there. We can cut to the chase right there.
You know all the answers at that point, right? Yeah.
That's right.
No.
All right. No.
I'm a product of public education, actually.
Well, there you go. As am I.
I don't know that we're going to be much better off.
That's true. Look what happened to us.
I know.
Wah, wah.
But I am level-headed.
Well, all right.
Fair enough. And that's what we want to talk about. Here's the deal. We're going to be honest with you, Dr. Gothrop.
Is this a new thing for you?
When we have a guest on, you know, we have producers. And it may look like we're in charge, but we're not. And these producers, they're in charge of getting everybody through the week to find their guests and to get everybody. And what do they always tell us? Don't bring in anybody that has a business.
That's right.
Because as a TV show to exist, we have to share ads. We
want
sell
sponsors.
ads. We need sponsors. We don't want to give away things that we could, because you probably saw in the commercials there was probably Dr. Markham, who wants people's hearts to be better,
and then like
who's the guy that burns skin guy. Yeah, there's a guy that burns people's skin off.
So it brings us to the awkward moment. We're going to have to give you a bill.
They were both homeschooled. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
So the thing is, when we're bringing people, so many people have thriving businesses that it's hard to have people in here that don't have a business. And I thought, who do I know that has a business but could still be super interesting to have on the show.
And you were our third choice.
So I called Jake Stump.
What a freak.
I called Jake
What an
Stump.
intro.
No, but honestly, I've known you now for a long time, and the Slinky's known you for a long time. We
Droves
consider you a friend.
Droves
not
of years.
Droves of years. And I can honestly say, you are one of the most unique and interesting people that I've ever known. Would you say that's true?
I think
Be
that's
completely honest.
I think that's absolutely true.
And in order to prove that, I'm going to put the Slinky on the spot.
Uh-oh.
here. You thought you were going to be on the spot. I'm going to put him on the spot because that's the way we do hard-nosed journalism here.
I like that.
Okay?
I don't like this show.
I am going to put you on the spot, Slink.
All right.
I want you to tell one of the most unique Gothrop stories that you've got.
Wow.
We've just told the people at home that Gothrop is a little bit interesting, that he's sort of unique. So
My favorite Gothrop story would be awkward to tell.
You see, it wasn't that hard though. He knows them. Is there a way to tell it?
It includes his, yes, it does include your lovely wife, and that's not awkward.
Well, why don't you tell it then? if you figured it all out.
You both have very lovely wives, and I've actually been blessed to adjust both of them.
That's
okay?
true. Yeah.
And they've
And,
been blessed to be adjusted by you.
well,
He's a
I appreciate it. I
chiropractor.
appreciate it.
We used to work about a block away from
Right.
Dr. Gothrop.
Oh,
You know, we worked there at the print shop.
that's right. Yeah, that's
yeah.
real close. Yeah.
So I can tell you one. I can tell a funny
Well,
story.
I wanted to hear his
you have-
version.
What's your version? Yeah, what's your version?
Well, my favorite, I get to work on the back, and sometimes ladies will have, where the back does a little scoop thing going on the attire
Yeah.
they're wearing that day, and I see the little going on your wife's back. I don't know if I'm
she has a
supposed to say
tattoo.
that.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
Okay. And I'm like, what is that? Well, she told me the story, and I'm like, I had to stop, why she has this, tattoo going. And it caught me off guard. I'm like, that's really cool. You have a really cool wife.
Yeah, I do.
But I don't get stopped in my tracks very often, as you can imagine. 'Cause working with the public, I get to really meet some interesting folks. As you
But
guys
no
know.
one that you meet is actually as interesting, I think, as you. Because let me tell you one of my very first Gothrop stories. Is one day, my wife comes in to get adjusted. I used to come in with her when she would get adjusted a long time ago, many moons ago.
And stand at a distance.
And I would stand at a distance because I think
My
that
cell
you guys
phone
are.
is ringing.
Well, I think that it's because I think chiropractors
be?
are witch doctors.
It's Todd Wood. He hosted last week with
he
me.
does.
Hey, Todd, I'm in the middle of my TV show. Can I call you back? All right, thanks. Bye.
That was last
phone.
week's co-host.
That was last week's
So it's
co-host.
okay. It's okay to
I don't know
answer the
what he's
phone on
doing
that.
calling me at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I don't either. It's crazy. Here's the thing: is we go in there, and I already think that chiropractors are complete witch doctors. I'm like, I
He's
don't
like,
understand.
did Rob
these
show up
things."
this week? I'm ready.
Oh, I see how it is, Wood. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, buddy. Anyway, and so April's not feeling real well, and so you start kind of going down the checklist with her. Tell me tell me what you did yesterday. Did you do this? What'd you do? And she starts telling him. And so eventually, it's getting, no, that's not why you don't feel bad. That's not. So eventually she gets down to well, I did. I mean, I got up like I do every day. I ate some cereal with the thing. And you're like, stop right there.
Oh, I know where he's going.
And you're like, you can't feel okay when you're putting that cow pus in your body.
I knew that's where he was.
And I was like, what? And you're like, the milk, she's eating this cow pus. That's what you called it. Now, this was 10 years ago, okay? And so we have a standoff in your chiropractic office where I'm like, no way, man. The billboards say that milk is good for you. And you're like, milk can be good for you, but not that milk can be good for you. So I left thinking you were even more crazy than I did before. But I will say, for the record, at a time when I was so hurt I could not walk, when I was so hurt that I was actually crying in pain,
I was hoping
that
he was going to start with this story.
you did jump in and save me and fix my back and my leg and my foot. And so I do not doubt your voodoo witch doctor powers.
Well, the first time that I met Dr. Gothrop, it was because he wanted a video made about his chiropractic. And then the second time I met the doctor was when he wanted a video made about his four-wheeling. And then the third time I met Dr. Gothard was he wanted a video made about this soccer training thing he made in his garage. And then the next time I met him, he wanted a video made about this ear thing that was going to cure everybody from their allergies. He was going to shoot lasers in their ears, and he wanted a video. So that's where.
So what you're saying is he likes multimedia.
He is a multimedia fan.
Here's the facts, though. The fact is this: you really do. All joking aside, we have a lot of fun with everybody.
We've let him say like 2 words.
I know.
That's what we're great. You guys are really good at this. Let me throw a fact out I heard this morning. Did you know that in December of this year, that print media was surpassed by the internet for advertising dollars?
I'm not surprised.
So, well, I'm not either, because people are visual. And you're giving me down the road for getting everything videoed if I'm trying to teach somebody something.
No, you were just ahead of your time.
You're ahead of your time. That's what I'm saying.
He's a maverick.
Like all voodoo witch doctors, you know things the rest of people don't know. But here's the thing: for as long as I've known you, and you are known throughout the Chattanooga area and beyond for being one of those guys that really cares about people on all levels. You were one of the most caring people that we do. So for real, tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us about what you do.
Is this like my favorite movie?
Not yet. That comes at the end.
That's a big question.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big question. So what do I do?
What do I do?
Great question. No, what I try and do is I try and first of all meet the person where they are. You know, some people come in and their diet is all screwed up and their body shows it. Okay, other people come in and they've been extremely healthy, but they had a sports injury. You can't treat those two people the same. You got to meet them where they are first. And that's kind of the fun part of being so weird and unique, is that's how I got this way, is trying to learn about people. Because we're crazy people.
Sure.
Okay? And the more weird stuff that I've done helps me relate to the more people that walk in the office. Okay? So as I meet them where they are, figure out where they're coming from in their walk, then I can kind of get on that page and help them go from wherever they are to a healthier place. Sometimes it's changing their physical. Sometimes it's simply an adjustment. Those are the easy ones. Sometimes I have to work with their chemistry a little bit. In other words, they're waking up in the morning taking 3 Tylenols just in case they have a headache because they saw it on a commercial.
Or eating cereal with milk.
Cow pus.
Well, the cow pus is another issue. Those are really twisted people. But anyhow, side note, and I say that with a smile, but side note, if you take milk from the Golden Gallon or any convenience store, I don't want to say names.
But we did.
But we did.
Too late now. That's too late now. But yeah, anyway, seriously, but go ahead.
Yeah, but if you go down there and buy that stuff that many of you go down and carry home to your family, and if you take that milk back to a farmer that his job is to raise a calf up to a full cow, you know, maybe the mom's out of the picture somehow, the mom
Sure.
cow, that calf dies. So in other words, by the time man gets done processing that milk,
it's not good enough to do what it was supposed to do.
It's not even good enough to where, that scares me.
I agree. I really do. I make fun of that story, but in all honesty, you make a really good point. I think a lot of the things that people eat are horrible for them.
Yeah, so in other words, now I have dairy farmers as patients, believe it or not. I have pharmacy owners as patients. I have medical doctors as patients. Now, does that mean I have to agree with all that they do? Well, they probably don't even agree with all they do, but that's part of the process. I can't say I agree with everything that goes on in chiropractic either.
Right.
So they shouldn't have to either. I'm not going to hold them to a different standard than me.
Right.
But at the same time, I try and meet them where they are and ease them towards a healthier place. Now, again, sometimes that's changing their diet. Sometimes that's doing a physical adjustment. Sometimes that's teaching them how to exercise better. Sometimes that's helping them to lose weight in a very quick fashion. Very healthy, by the way. I'm really excited about that. I don't know if we was going to get to
Talk
talk about that.
No, we
much.
will. You know what?
Let's come
I'll
back
tell
to
you
that
why
a
we'll
little
talk
bit later
about it.
because that's a whole idea.
Well, I'll tell you why we should. Yeah, finish up your
Radical.
thought, and then we'll talk about that.
And then as we get people to this healthier place, you know, everybody says, oh, once you go to a chiropractor, you got to always go to a chiropractor forever. Well, how long do you want to be healthy? Okay, stuff's going to happen, right? You're gonna hit your head when you climb into the car that day. That could, you know, mess something up. Some people, that's their original trauma that brings them into the office. So I got to meet them there and help them from there. Other people will have a bigger accident. Other people will have carpal tunnel because they typewriter keyed. Well, I guess there's no more typewriters. Keyboarded.
You're way ahead.
They're
of the curve.
coming back.
He's way ahead of the curve.
They're coming
folks.
back.
Way ahead of the curve.
Bell bottoms and typewriters. You heard it here first.
But you see, just meet them where they are, help them get healthier, and then help them stay healthier. That's basically what health is about.
Well,
health is not a destination, it's a journey.
Could we talk? And that's one of the things that I think we love about you is that life is a big journey with you.
It is.
You love four-wheeling. You love the four-wheel.
One of my recent passions.
Tell us about that just for a minute, for a brief second. I mean, because you don't just four-wheel now, man. You four-wheel.
we have a good time. We are absolutely blessed with a wonderful
is it a
four-wheeling
club?
park around here. Well, there's a club. The club doesn't dictate everything. It's kind of there to support and help people doing that activity. But Windrock, it's an hour and a half from here. You go up to Windrock, it's 72,000 acres. You buy a yearly permit or a daily permit, and you have access to 72,000 acres.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done on a four-wheeler?
Started it.
That's probably fair.
The rest of it's all fun.
One time,
Okay.
he sat on it and drank a whole chug of milk.
It was crazy.
That's living on the edge.
Now, we'll talk about the weight loss. For
All
a
right, we
second.
need to because we're running out of time.
And here's the reason.
Okay. How much time do we have?
We
You
got
got the clock.
another 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
So we've only got 2 movies at the end.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. People on the show have seen. We've actually now been on the show almost a year, if you count our time studying under Sir Dan Howell. And so in that time, the people at home have actually watched my weight loss. Okay, if you go back and you look at the video clips, you'll actually see some pretty dramatic weight loss, and it was something Dan always wanted to talk about, and I always felt uncomfortable talking about it because it really does make me feel uncomfortable, I guess, to talk about. Not because I'm not proud of it, but because, you know, we're on the show and it always felt sort of weird. But actually having
And
you
yet
on,
today you rolled up in your little skinny tee.
He did.
Be like, hey, everybody, look at
but
this.
it is. You know what? Here's you like. Yeah, ladies. Now I won't be your 7th choice.
He's moving up to 5.
but here's the thing. What the people at home don't know is that, you know, I talked a little bit about the diet that I was on before, and now I'm on a very, very similar diet now, but I'm actually, you've been very instrumental in the diet that I'm on. And I do think that it's something like, I haven't talked much about it. Joe hasn't talked much about it. He's our producer. He's the reason I learned about it. But this is actually something you specialize in. So why don't you take a few minutes and tell the people at home about this diet? It'll make me feel more comfortable than me talking about it.
Well, that's good. That's good. There's several approaches to getting skinnier. Now, I teach patients when they get started at the office and they come in, they say, Doc, I got to lose weight. It's killing me. I said, I know, I've been telling you that for 10 years. I just didn't know how to help them. I've been in practice 25 years, Rob, and over that time period, we've been able to help, you know, hundreds of people, literally, but there's always that group that I couldn't get to. You take any health provider that is doing their job, they'll help 100 people in a day, and one of them that they couldn't get to is the one that keeps them up the rest of the night trying to figure out what they forgot.
Right. Yeah.
What they miss, okay? They got to get to that person, okay? That's driven me into all these different arenas trying to help people that I couldn't get to, okay? If you take any person's structure that's got abnormal fat accumulated on it, and you pull off 10 pounds, you do the math on that. You go over to the engineering department here and do the math on taking 10 pounds off of a structure, how much less the muscles have, how much less trauma the joints have to go to every time you take a step during the day. I can be a more successful chiropractor in that person's mind if they feel better quicker. If I take 10 pounds off their structure, I can do my job better. Okay, they can do their life better.
And that's how you got into organ trafficking. Because you could just drop them into a bathtub with some ice,
just
pull
a
out
little
the kidneys, 10 pounds, done.
No, but seriously,
little serious moment, blew him out of the water.
I think that everybody at home will admit that maybe I've got a little bit of abnormal fat on me. Maybe a little.
His name is
lot less than you used to.
I might have eaten a lot of donuts as a child.
Washed it down with some cow
But in
pus.
honesty, here's the thing. What a lot of people think, and they would say this to Joe Palo, they would say it to me, is that it's unhealthy to lose the weight that quickly. But I had some pretty serious doctors here in town research it, and they said, this isn't true. It's not really true. It isn't normal to lose weight that quickly, but when you're on this program, you lose it quickly, but it's not unhealthy. So you want to talk about that for a second?
Easily. If you've got people's blood work pre-treatment with this program, and it's terrible. I mean, they're in an unhealthy state. You meet them there, you say, listen, all this stuff, bad cholesterol, bad triglycerides, your glucose is through the roof, and you do any procedure to them and fix those blood numbers, their body gets to a healthier state, and they feel good on the process of doing it. Their mental clarity is much better. They have a better outlook on life, and their blood numbers are all better. I'm going to win that argument. It's a really healthy way to get them healthy.
Right.
Okay? Unless you're uncovering something that I don't know, which is possible. I got to leave that option open. I don't know everything. But everything that I've seen and read and studied about this approach to dropping weight, I'm getting all A's. I mean, everything's good, so it's hard to argue against it.
Yeah.
Other than if you're just scared of what's in the closet because it's dark in there, you don't know what you know what it is.
Well, I think
the unknown scares people.
I've felt great on it. I've had to cut all my medications back because I don't need them anymore, and so I definitely feel healthier. I've lost, close to 100 pounds at this point.
In a period of time, in months.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't do that yesterday.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I think, you've watched this from the outside. What do you, like, you know what I'm saying? Not going on the diet, but having obviously a friend that's been on it, and Joe that's on it. What is your thought? Joe said, you got this guy who he helps people do the diet. You've got a guy who's done the diet, but what about you?
Well, I look at it and I say, I've got to do something because I don't want to be your fat friend.
That's actually true.
That's why my biggest concern is I don't want to be Rob's fat friend.
Can I jump in here on this?
Yeah.
I didn't know your name was Slinky, by the way. I'm going to have to write that down somewhere. But I lost 24 pounds on this myself. Now, keep in mind, I'm the one out here teaching health. I had 3 kids, busy practice, all this stuff. I get into a donut or two myself, and I put on some stuff that I didn't need to.
Sure.
By the way, the donut people are not going to sponsor this show. But break that to you. But I had accumulated some weight. I dropped 24 pounds in 4 weeks myself, okay? Watched all the stuff get better. And my daughter came up to me, who's 20, by the way, and told me, she says, Dad, I have never seen you under 200 pounds. And it didn't hit me right away. But I've never weighed less than 200 pounds in her whole life. She's only 20. Been in practice 24 years. Anyhow, that's an interesting feedback for me coming from the healthy position. Now, I do a lot of stuff, and my body's pretty healthy, it doesn't hurt. But to carry all that extra weight, I was working it way harder than I needed to. And consequently, looking back, there's a lot of stuff that I could have done a whole lot better and easier.
Right.
My wife, after those 3 kids that are 20, 22, and 24 years old, she's carried this little thing around the front here, this little poochy abnormal thing.
And I'm sure she appreciates you telling all of our viewers at home about it.
I can't. You see,
just made every woman at home very angry.
That's the really cool thing. Watch this, because she's excited about it now, because in 3 weeks on this program, she dropped 14 pounds and every bit of it was right here. It's gone. Once it's gone, women are okay to talk about that.
Right.
Well, the ones that are not okay is the one that haven't gone through the program yet.
Well, how can people find out more about this?
Call the office. Call the.
Do you know the number?
The number. Yeah, of course I know the number.
I don't know.
Is it okay to do that?
Go ahead. You're not going to get in any trouble.
Okay, 899-0808. Really easy number. We're on the corner of East Brainerd Road and I-75 in Chattanooga.
Conveniently located right next to the Baskin Robbins.
Yes. Exactly.
Behind the Baskin
Okay,
Robbins.
4 questions with
Four
the slick
questions.
here.
We gotta go
Four
quick. Though. We
questions.
gotta go quick. 'cause we gotta go to commercial.
What is your favorite movie ever?
Favorite movie ever? I'm going to throw some out because I got a whole list of stuff.
All right.
But it's going to have Robin Williams in it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What do you think is the best movie ever made?
Probably where the family Robinson, the family is in the Austria.
Swiss Family Robinson?
No.
Sound of Music.
Yeah,
Schindler's
Sound of
List.
Music.
Sound of
Probably
Music.
the best movie ever.
Sound of Music. Okay.
All right. Okay. What movie have you seen more than any other?
Unfortunately, the sound of the what
Sound
you
of
call
Music?
it? Sound of Music. Yeah,
All right.
because when I was a little kid, when I wasn't being homeschooled, I had to watch that movie.
Sure. I was always creeped out by it. I just thought, if the hills are alive, I don't want to be eaten. That's scary.
That's fair.
And then the last one is, what do you think is the funniest movie ever made?
Oh, golly, there's so many. Definitely going to have a Robin Williams in it, but I like Eddie Murphy too, and stand-up comedy is excellent. But I saw probably the shortest clip of funny I've ever seen was when Robin Williams was on the Johnny Carson show.
That's fair.
And he completely took over. Johnny just sat back and threw his towel.
That's what we used to do to Dan Howell.
It's true.
Anyway, hey, Jennifer, we're not going to go anywhere. We don't even have time to switch sets. Go to commercial right now, and we'll come back and do the preview review. You're watching Tennessee Valley This Morning. Go to commercial right now. We're on Tennessee Valley This Morning.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
I'm Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Contact me for all of your business insurance needs. From general liability to workers' comp, commercial auto, and business umbrellas, Landmark Insurance has you covered.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
You can be and we're back.
Welcome back to Lights Camera Cleveland edition of Tennessee Valley This Morning.
We're back.
It's time for the preview review.
We have 2 minutes left on this show.
We review movies based on the previews. We've not seen them yet, but we're still going to tell you if you should.
We do that because we're movie critics, and that's what we like to do the most.
First up is Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. This is the sequel to Ghost Rider. It stars Nicolas Cage, Ciarán Hinds, Violet Platt, Idris Elba, and a bunch of people whose names you can't convince.
Nicolas Cage reprises his role as Johnny Blaze in Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance in this gritty new version for the character directed by Taylor. Johnny is still struggling with his curse as the devil's bounty hunter, but he may risk everything as he teams up with the leader of a group of rebel monks.
Oh my. He's a guy. He rides a bike. His skull's inflaming. Hate it.
I'm not sure. The thing is, I was going to hate this movie until they said a group of rebel monks.
Dr. Gotthrop, hate it or grade it?
It's a hate!
Second up, what is it?
It's This Means War, starring Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, Tom Hardy, Till Schweiger. The world's deadliest CIA operatives are inseparable partners and best friends until they fall for the same woman. Having once helped bring down an entire army of nations, they are now employing their incomparable skills and endless array of high-tech gadgetry against their greatest nemesis ever.
I can't buy into this. Oh my gosh, I can't buy into this premise. Look, I'm sorry, but the idea that more than one person could fall in love with somebody like Reese Witherspoon totally suspends my disbelief.
That is my problem. I have trouble with thinking anyone could actually fall in love with Reese Witherspoon, much less enough to fight against your best friend.
I'm going to hate this one.
I'm going to hate this one too.
Dr. Gothard?
We're out of time.
Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, you like Reese Witherspoon? Oh, snap!
That's not okay. This has been a fantastic segment. Thank you to Senator Eric Watson. Thank you to Rochelle Mayberry. Thank you to Dr. Gothard.
And thank you to Todd Wood for his special phoned-in appearance.
Absolutely. That's it.
This has been Tennessee Valley This Morning's Friday edition. We'll see you next week, unless they fire us.
Fastest